4 people shot at a Texas ICE facility in Dallas. Here we go.
Good morning, I'm Savannah Sellers, and we're coming on the air with breaking news. Officials are set to update on this morning's deadly shooting at an ICE facility in Dallas. It comes after a shooter opened fire near that facility, killing 2 people, injuring a third, and all of those victims are ICE detainees, according to an ICE spokesperson. We have NBC's Jay Gray. He is in Dallas on the ground. Jay, what's the latest that you're hearing here as we await this press conference?
Yes, Savannah, still multiple federal agencies on the ground, as well as Dallas police. As you talk about, we're waiting to hear not only from the chief of police, but the mayor of Dallas, just a few short steps away. They're expected to walk to the podium at any point. We have just heard, in fact, I think they're there now. Let's listen in.
Prayer. And that prayer changes things. And so I'm going to ask everyone, please join me in praying for the families of the folks who lost their lives today. Pray for the speedy recovery for those who are hurt or injured in what happened today. But maybe even more to the point, we're a country and a city that needs prayer. So I'm going to ask you all to join me also in praying for this city, that we can come together at a time like this.
Come together right now.
And that we can be there for one another the way we always have in times like this, to support one another, help us all get through this very difficult time, not just in our city, but in our country. And that's why I'd ask you to pray for our nation. There's a lot going on right now in our country. A lot of it's confusing. It's a scary time. I've got children. I've got 3 young children. And I'm here to tell you that it is challenging to explain to them what's going on in our country right now. But I said before, and I'll say it again, I believe.
Is this Negro filibustering? Come on, man. Give us some updates.
In the power of prayer to change things. And it can change the hearts of people. It can change this country. It can change this city. So please pray for everyone who's affected by today's tragedy. I also want to say thank you to the Dallas Police Department and say thank you to the Dallas Sheriff's Department.
Hey, I want to take the time out to say like, share, subscribe this video. I'm telling you, man, you are not going to get content like this by watching your local news channel. And so and the second thing I want to say is that hearts, thoughts and prayers, and I have the victims' families, the ones that got shot at this ICE facility in Texas. I want to say that let's pray, like he said, let's pray for the families of the victims and stuff like that, and pray for the victims too, because I hope they end up in the right area for their spirit. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, sorry about that.
County Sheriff's Department, Texas Department of Public Safety, and all of our various federal law enforcement partners who acted so quickly today to make sure that today's tragedy wasn't worse than what it was. So on behalf of the city of Dallas, I want to say thank you to all of you. And you're going to hear from some of those folks later, but I wanted to let you know that we appreciate what you all do, not just today, but every day, to help keep us all safe. And lastly, and this is really important, I would ask all of the city of Dallas residents who can hear me right now, let's be patient, let's remain calm, and let's let our law enforcement partners, our police department, do their job. This is an active investigation. There's still a lot of unanswered questions. And I want to encourage all of you to exercise a little bit of restraint and allow them to do their job to help make sure this continues to be a safe city and that they can help us figure out what happened here today. But with that, I want to say, again, thank you to all the folks who came out this morning from our law enforcement community. I'll turn it over to our police chief, Daniel Como, to speak a little bit more directly to the investigation itself. And with that, Chief Como, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Today at approximately 6:40 a.m., we received a city officer call. We responded to the call, got to the scene, and we later learned that we had 4 individuals that were shot, 2 of them deceased, including the shooter. The DPD was able to locate the shooter who was deceased. We're going to be working this investigation shoulder to shoulder with our federal partners. The FBI is on scene, and right now I'm going to introduce you to the SAC of the Dallas Field Division, FBI Joe Rumrock.
Yeah, good morning. My name's Joe Rothrock. I'm the special agent in charge of the Dallas FBI field office. I want to first...
Yo, take a look at this black chick that's standing in the background next to the guy that has ATF police in yellow on the right side of his chest. I'm not accusing her of doing anything, but she's kind of acting suspicious. She's giving head nods. A head nod is a communication tactic, or not tactic to make it sound deceiving, but it's a communication method to affirm or deny something that's said to you. You know, you're giving the head nod, or you like, nah, you know, that's another communication gesture. So just keep an eye on that.
First start by thanking our partners in local law enforcement, specifically the Dallas Police Department, for their quick and timely response. I can confirm at this time that the FBI is investigating this incident as an act of targeted violence. It is unfortunately just the most recent example we've seen of targeted violence, to include here in North Texas, where back on July 4th, we saw a coordinated attack carried out against an immigration detention center in Alvarado, Texas. What I can also share with you is that early evidence that we've seen from rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature. Again, this is just the most recent example of this type of attack. This will be a whole of government response.
So he's saying that at the crime scene, law enforcement came across bullets that had anti-ICE written on them. Now, I'll leave it up to you to decide, but I mean, it could go both ways, man. Like, it's one of those things where the shooter actually did that, or that type of evidence was planted. But I leave it up to you to decide. All right.
There will be no resource not utilized to bring all those individuals who are responsible to bring them to justice and to hold them accountable. While we're not releasing identities of any victims at this time, what I can confirm for you is no members of law enforcement were hurt during this attack. If any member of the public has information that would help the FBI's investigation, I would ask that you please report that to 1-800-CALL-FBI. Again, any piece of information will be helpful, but This will be an ongoing investigation between us, a number of federal partners, and our local partners, again, to ensure that anyone responsible is held accountable. With that, I will turn it over to my counterpart from the ICE Enforcement and Removal Office.
Good morning. My name is Joshua Johnson. I'm the acting field office director for ICE Dallas. I'll be brief with my comments, but I do want to start off by saying thank you to the Dallas Police Department, Dallas FBI, HSI, CBP, ATF, and virtually every law enforcement officer in North Texas for your support. This is the second time I've had to stand in front of you and talk about a shooter at one of my facilities.
All right, guys, I'm gonna probably most likely skip ahead. Let me see what I can come up with. Please bear with me. They may still be replaying some of the earlier statements that were made today regarding this ICE facility shooting. But I got another video to cut to.
Yeah. We ought to come together and have some decency across the political aisle to say,
I'm not going to be identifying time. We'll come back to you later today or in the coming days if we have additional information. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
An act of targeted violence, also saying that rounds found near the shooter had anti-ICE messaging. We still have no information on the victim specifically, but it was emphasized that no law enforcement was hurt. Let's go to NBC's Jay Gray, who is in Dallas. Jay, I think probably the biggest piece of information there, of course, is this point that this seems to...
Like, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying this content, right? This is in Dallas, Texas. 4 people shot at a Texas ICE facility, immigration, customs, and enforcement organization. That's what ICE stands for, right? 4 people shot. This Democratic anti-ICE rhetoric has to stop. If, in fact, the shooter did write anti-ICE on those bullets, but I leave it up to you to decide. But, you know, when I said in my last video was I think that the powers that be are trying to incite a civil war between whites and blacks. And I stand by that. But we have to be critical of ourselves. First of all, look yourself in the mirror every day and be like, are you going to be the best you can be today, this hour, this minute, whatever the case may be, right? Then you're going to say, how can you make others around you better, right? Without any pomp and circumstance or whatever, you just flow through it. You flow through it. It's fluid. You know, the way we operate is fluid. And then you want to elevate. If you can make others better around you, then you want to elevate it. You want to teach others how to do that and increase your span. You know what I'm saying? And so all this shooting and all that, man, it's the powers that be that's trying to get us in a certain direction, just like they did with the pandemic, trying to get us all to comply and do all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Look, I am a freaking, I think for myself, and I think that others need to do the same thing. You know, for the longest time, I've been the black sheep, meaning that I didn't follow what everybody else did. I did my own thing. Even as a kid, I did my own thing. You know what I'm saying? the reason why most people don't want to do their own thing and they want to follow the crowd is because they are afraid of rejection. They're afraid of not being accepted by the party that they want to be accepted to. I don't care about none of that shit. I'm operating on my own, beating my own drum. Like, it's it's inconceivable to me how people could like care about what other people think. What the fuck? Like, I don't care if you a perfect person, right? I don't care if you a perfect person, you cure cancer and all that other kind of. There's always gonna be somebody that's gonna talk shit about you because of jealousy, envy, or whatever. I'm not advocating for talking shit about people, but I'm just saying, man, like it seems like no matter what you do, people gonna talk shit about you, and that's basically it. And you just have to rise above that, transcend above that, and keep doing your thing, you know.
Be a targeted act of violence. Tell us more what we learned.
Yeah, no question, and that some of the ammo did have what's been described as anti-ICE memos and messages involved. We also got some clarity on what exactly the situation is with victims. 2 dead at the scene, one of those the shooter, and then another victim. We haven't had any clarity on who that victim may be and who the other 2 who were shot may be. We do know that they continue to investigate, as you just heard here, and will continue to investigate this. We're getting some information from those who were inside the facility right now. What I can tell you in talking to some of them is that there was chaos, that there was pandemonium inside. You've got families that have shown up here. It is a check-in station for many immigrants, and so it was a place where they were going through the routine day of appointments, and all of a sudden shots rang out, and they tell me that it was just chaos again inside that facility as well as outside. Dallas Police.
NBC News correspondent Jay Gray is live there in Dallas for us. Jay, you've been following this from the start this morning, and moments ago we just learned
This is the update. Okay, so just in case you haven't been paying attention, 4 people have been shot outside of a Texas ICE facility, Immigration Customs Enforcement, right? That's what ICE stands for, right? Federal agency operating in this part of Texas, out on the outskirts of Dallas. I don't know if it's downtown Dallas or whatever the case is. 4 people shot earlier today on September 24th, 2025, right? And so the earlier video was about earlier accounts in the morning about the situation. This video right here, this clip, is about an update that far exceeds anything that was playing since this morning, right? We got some breaking news up in this joint.
identity of the shooter. What do we know at this point?
Yeah, Vicky, it is a 29-year-old Joshua John, we are told. Still trying to find out more information, but that confirmed through multiple.
I'm not laughing, man. I mean, I am laughing, but I'm just saying, like, these types of events have become all too often, and like I said, like it just feels like the powers that be are ordering this shit up to distract us from focusing on what's more important, like the high cost of living, the people who are causing the high cost of living, and what we should do about those people that are creating a high cost of living. I mean, that's why I'm laughing. Like, we need to be thinking on those terms, man.
law enforcement sources to NBC News. Again, 29-year-old Joshua John. We don't know anything about a criminal background. That's something we're going to have to develop as this continues to unfold. We can tell you that the Department of Homeland Security has said that the shots were fired indiscriminately at the building by John from a nearby rooftop. He was firing at the ICE building and sprayed that facility. One of the witnesses says there was as many as 20 shots fired, and during that time he hit a van as well as the detainees that were being moved from that van. We know that 3 of the detainees were hit, 2 of them have died, the third in critical condition right now at a Dallas hospital. No law enforcement was hit during the attack. And then the gunman, of course, turned the weapon on himself. They're continuing to investigate exactly what's going on. As you can see behind me, Vicki, this area is still locked down and will be for quite some time. Law enforcement from multiple federal agencies as well as Dallas police on the ground is a part of this investigation. We do hear that it was a targeted investigation, that from the FBI on the ground here, saying that this shooter was, at the time, targeting ICE.
There's a shooting going on every day. And I said it in my last couple videos. It seems like the powers that be are ordering up the biggest bullshit apparatus that's going to distract the people, like stabbings and shootings and mass shootings and fires happening and people being burned, people being bombed. Like, it's made to order chaos, right? Why? Because Trump is in office, right? We never had nothing like the 2019-2020 COVID-19 pandemic. We never had nothing like that. When was the last time we had something like that? Right? So Trump gets into office, and automatically we got a virus that's slightly more severe than the flu, or an enhanced version of the flu. Shut schools down, businesses down, churches and all that, and then all that remains open is McDonald's and liquor stores? What are we talking about here? Huh? We bending the knee saying, yes, master, yes, we're for this, we're for wearing masks and depleting our oxygen intake. We wear, you know what I'm saying? We further polluting ourselves by re-breathing in the exhale breath, right? Because whatever excretes out of the body is waste, right? That'll be equivalent almost to, drinking your own piss or eating your own shit. You gonna breathe your own breath back in the same daggone apparatus that's covering your face, a face diaper. What are you talking about? Then they gonna go ahead and be like, all right, you take the shot and get fired. I'd rather get fired, motherfucker. Like, ain't nobody telling me what to do. I make my own decisions. The government ain't gonna tell me what to do. Not at all. Now, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I can tell you that. But the powers that be, because things are going Trump's way, and because Trump is in office, the powers that be are ordering up catered chaos to make it seem like this is happening because Trump is in office. And it is happening because Trump is in office, But it's not because of Trump. It's because of people who hate Trump. It's because people who are putting millions and even billions of dollars behind groups that are meant to agitate the public through mass shootings and all this other kind of stuff to make it seem like chaos. Trump is causing this chaos. But Trump is not causing this chaos. It's the people who want to cause chaos against the Trump agenda is the ones that are causing the chaos. That's what I'm talking about. All right? If you like this content, like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.